Sex offenders from foreign not required to register in Jamaica. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Regarding the registration of a sex offender and the granting of access to data on the registry, the human rights group Jamaicans for Justice has expressed concern about what it perceives as inadequacies in the present Sexual Offense Act. According to Jade Williams, a policy and advocacy specialist with the JFJ, a registered sex offender in another country who travels to Jamaica for a lengthy period of time is not required to register with Jamaican authorities. Speaking on Beyond the Headlines, Ms. Williams said that this poses a problem since these criminals can enter the country unchecked. And this has been happening a long time now, where rapists and pedophiles from abroad can go to Jamaica as tourists and are welcome in hotels and in communities and get treated as decent people while carrying out their evil deeds in Jamaica, then go back to their countries. And think about this: a pedophile with foreign money and a child who is from a poor family, hungry or need clothes and shoes. I don't need to say anymore, just let your imagination do the rest. A 32-year-old woman who was held with a gun last month while walking through a funeral procession at Tivoli Gardens, Kingston 14, will now have to answer for her actions. According to a statement issued by the police on Wednesday, Jody Ann Laws of Zaki Avenue in Tivoli Gardens has been charged with illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Law enforcement officers reportedly noticed Laws among a group of mourners on DC Avenue on January 29 at about 5:15 in the evening, according to reports from the Denham Town Police. She was reportedly searched after her conduct led them to suspect her. The police said a Cougar pistol containing 10 rounds was seen in a bag she was carrying. And upon closer examination of the bag, another 31 rounds of ammunition were also discovered, the police added. And you can see that this is a real shutter woman. The government has changed its mind about the need for children under the age of 12 to wear a child restraint system when using public transportation. And in a statement delivered on Tuesday before the House of Representatives, Minister of Transportation Audley Shaw disclosed the modification to the Just Pass Road Traffic Act 2018. And the law that was passed said all children 9 and under had to be in child seat but had to wheel and come again, as they apparently did not take into consideration that this was going to affect public passenger vehicles, as lots of families who have no cars would have to take public vehicles. Was the parents responsible to provide this car seat, or was it the taxi or the bus driver? And I can tell you it was a mess. But then, these are politicians in Jamaica who normally just do whatever they want. They just come up with whatever law they feel like. And people actually vote for them as long as some of them get flour and rice and 2 sheets of zinc, some board, and them good. And probably a drink of rum, of course. A 26-year-old man was detained and charged by police in connection with a triple murder that took place on Red Hills Road in St. Andrew 2 years ago. And during the event, 4 persons were shot and injured. Damian Taylor, also known as Demon from Woodrow Street in Kingston 12, is accused of 3 charges of murder and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Rushane White, also known as Barber 29, Kimoni White, also known as Sheller, both of Park Lane, Kingston 19, and laborer Alex Henry, also known as Pelper 27, both of Red Hills, were killed in that shooting. And according to police report on July 25th of 2021, at about 7:50 p.m., Rushane, Kimoni, and Alex were standing among a group of people when 3 men, one of whom was identified as Taylor, approached them and just opened gunfire, hitting them. The 3 shooters then escaped in the area. According to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, more than 700 homicide investigations were resolved last year. And despite the overwhelming caseload, detectives have been sharpening their expertise, according to Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, which has boosted the clear-up rate for investigations. He said that 725 murder cases were solved in 2022. However, most of these gunmen are out on bail anyway, shooting people right as we speak. The judges that are handling these cases normally seem to be getting paid by the murderers, as some of the sentences that are handed down makes no sense either. Check out the current gang trial that's going on now. That judge, the one that's handling the case, Brian Sykes, is about to let all of them go free. Trust me. Or with minimal sentence, even though these men are known and seen killing dozens of people. And I can tell you that Brian Sykes should be disbarred and probably run out of Jamaica. A St. Ann man was killed at his home in Steertown on Wednesday morning. He is Kimani Letman, otherwise called Skibbo, and it's believed that armed men went to his house about 2 a.m. and kicked open his door. Letman then ran to another section of the house on seeing the men, but he was chased and shot several times. His mother, who was in the house at the time of the shooting, was not harmed. An electrician was shot dead at a shop on Broughton Road in Little London, Westmoreland on Wednesday night. The deceased man has been identified as 67-year-old Luton Brown, otherwise called Duckeye, of Old Hope district in the parish. Reports from the police are that Brown was outside a shop shortly after 8 p.m. when he was approached by an unknown assailant who opened gunfire, hitting him several times. He was transported to the Salvamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. And as the war continues in West Kingston, a man from Denham Town who had reportedly been kidnapped from his home was discovered shot dead in an open lot off Spanish Town Road. 45-year-old Fitzroy Davidson has been identified as the deceased. And according to reports, gunmen broke into and kidnapped Mr. Davidson on Wednesday night when he was at home on Little King Street in Denham Town. The gunmen, it is said, were looking for his son named Dino, who is a known shutter, but as they say, you can't catch Quaco, you catch him shut. Davidson's father was distraught after the discovery of his son's body. He described his son as hardworking and someone who would avoid trouble. And people in the district said that this man gives no one any trouble and is not involved in anything. It was just his son. In Jamaica, you do not have to be a troublemaker or belong to a gang to get killed. You get killed for just merely living in certain neighborhood, or you are relative to someone who is wanted by another gang. On to sports, 14 of Jamaica's under-17 Reggae Boys squad were denied permission to go to Guatemala yesterday prior to the CONCACAF Championship, which begins this Saturday. The group was unable to travel because the Guatemalan consulate did not provide a paper copy of the exemption travel certificate, according to Dennis Chung, General Secretary of Jamaica Football Federation. However, they have now got the clearance and will leave today. The Jamaica Football Federation had selected 24-member squad to represent Jamaica at the competition with their opening match against Cuba, which is scheduled for tomorrow at 5 p.m. Next Tuesday, Jamaica will play Guatemala, and then on Thursday, Costa Rica to finish the group stage. Meanwhile, the 44th Mile Western Relays, which will take place on Saturday at GC Foster College, is expected to be an action-packed 8-hour meet according to the event's organizer. 80 races are scheduled to be run. Milo is now back as the event's title sponsor for the 25th time after missing it in the previous years. Premier League, Cellar Dweller team Falkland, which won their first game on Monday to move to 6 points from 13 games, is not going to be so lucky this Saturday when they buck up in a top shotter Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant with 30 points leads Cavalier by 4 points and will not want to show any mercy because a loss for them and a win by Cavalier would separate them by only 1 point. Breathing close in third is Arnett Gardens with 24 points, and they will face Cavaliers. So Mount Pleasant cannot afford to drop any points at this time. And in other games on Sunday, last place Chapelton with 3 points will play Harborview on 19, while Mullins United with 12 points will face Waterhouse, who have 18 points. Portmore United with 17 points will clash with Mobay United that have 16. And if you missed the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube and type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and please subscribe to keep this channel going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.